Hello, fellow Virgos. This is going to be your January 2021 through December of 2021 yearly reading. I am going to do a month-by-month spread, followed by a love reading, and then a soul journey path spread as well. I think I'm going to go over here to the Wild Unknown deck to do your month-by-month, to see what your year has in store for you. I will be posting this in late January so that you can get a feel of what this reading might be and if it resonates or not with you. And if not, that's totally okay. Maybe go check out your rising sign and see if that was more of a message that you need to hear. If not, I know there's tons of other tarot channels. I'm sure they can find a message for you. Either way, I just want you to find the best, help you make the best decisions that you can, and maybe you'll find them here. If January does not necessarily speak to you, it might be because it's something unconscious that has yet to come to light, but has been in the background of January, and you just don't know it. So if it seems a little ambiguous, just keep watching, see what the next couple of months have in store. And if that still doesn't resonate, then go check out another video. Wow, these are just falling out. Also, I have an introduction video if you want to look. It will be on my channel's homepage. It tells you what decks I'm using, along with what stones I have around me to ensure positive readings. And it has some cute puppies, so that's always a bonus. You might hear them in the background, like right now. They're walking around in the kitchen. I am going to pull these all first before I start flipping them over and talking, so we can just get the shuffling out of the way. I do read in reverse. Wow, okay. No, I actually think these just go with these. November, and finally December. If I need to clarify, I will, so that we can get a little bit of a better picture of what is going on. All right, that should do it for your year. Let's jump right into things and go to January. We have the Hierophant. This is a lot about going back to traditions and what morals you hold dear to yourself, the things that are closest to us that we wholeheartedly believe in, and that something we were taught most likely as a child, but also something that we need to learn from today. So January is going to be about reconnecting with those moral grounds that we hold so high. And I will also pull a card to see if we can get anything else that's more specific. All right, we'll pull those two. We have the Eight of Swords. Now, with this, there's some kind of indecision here, some kind of lack of perspective about which way to go with something. Now, this, I'm not sure if this has to do with the relationship, with career, with just life in general, but there's something that we learned a really long time ago that needs to kind of come out into the open again, because we're facing some kind of path that's about to be brought before us, and we're not sure if we should go down it or not. Now, this path is very magnetized. There's a lot of energy around this. With the Magician, there's something about action needs to be taken. We need to take control of the situation. Athena, stop. Need to take control of the situation, and there's a bountiful amount of energy around this, and there's something that we learned when we were younger that is coming out right now in this time of January, and we're trying to remember what it is, and I don't think it's necessarily there. This is something that I would say is in the unconscious, so I would recommend keep it going forward to see if possibly the next few months will make any sense to you as they unfold. With February, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles represents material gain and stability, and it's really, I would say this is definitely work and home, because you're getting some kind of stability within the home. Things are starting to make sense for you. You're building up this foundation, and then work-wise, I think finances are finally starting to come back, and they're feeling a lot more steady, and they can, it's not so much of living paycheck to paycheck or, sparing every penny that you can. It'll feel a lot more freeing. It's not like you'll have a ton of money. I'm not sensing that this is like, holy crap, you're about to come into some like crazy inheritance or you're gonna win the lottery or anything. It's just your job is starting to pay off for sure. Or maybe you finally find a job. If you lost one over this past year, maybe you're finally starting to find that and get that financial stability once again. You also have this with the Three of Pentacles. This has to do with work here, this one, because there's something that, some kind of battle that had to be overcome in order to get here. This isn't something, I don't think this is hard work that you're facing in the future or teamwork or something like that. I think this is something that you've been doing over the past however many months in order to get to the Four of Pentacles. You are trying to figure out which way is best for you and how you're going to provide for yourself, and possibly if you have a family, if you need to provide for them, and you finally reach that moment and you climb the mountain and it's going to pay off for you, especially because you have the Empress. Now the Empress is definitely, it's very much a creative new birth type of energy. I would say it's just, this is a new cycle, a new beginning, something that's very positive and enlightening for you. You're definitely learning from all your past experiences and putting them to good use here. So February is definitely looking up. And in March, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. I love the Nine of Cups. It's a wonderful card. It mainly just means that you're going to be experiencing a lot of harmony and things like that. Now, it will feel good. You're going to have a lot of positive emotions. The only thing is that it is in reverse. And when it's in reverse, I would say there's some kind of wish you want, but it's not necessarily going to be fulfilled. There's something else that is taking its place. It's kind of a what do you need versus what you want in this situation, because what you need, you're getting. You're definitely getting what you need. It's something that you want. That wish isn't necessarily being fulfilled, but it's because it's only a want. And right now you just have to kind of focus on the needs at the time being. And this isn't a bad thing whatsoever. I think the Nine of Cups is a wonderful card to come up. Now, in April, we have some kind of celebration. I see friends coming together. There's you know, there's a lot of happiness and joy here, and I think someone is giving some really good advice. I see in this card here, there's this bird that's a little higher up. I think this bird, whoever it is, maybe it's you, maybe not, they're giving advice to their friends and being like, hey, and you know, they're truly asking, genuinely wondering, how are you doing? How can I help you? And it's a very loving and supportive environment that you're going to be in the month of April. It's definitely very warming. It's warm-hearted on all fronts. Now with May, you have the Sun of Swords. This card tells me that you're going in the right direction. You are determined to make something out of whatever that may be. Let's find out. But your ambition is driving you very much forward. You are attacking with all your might and going for it. And you have Death in reverse. Now, this is telling me that you ended something previously, and it was kind of a hard pill to swallow. It was something like, oh, but I really worked on that, and I had determination towards it, and it was something that I thought I would be passionate about, but it didn't really work out, so it ended, and now you're starting something new, and you are going full-fledged, all for it. You know, it's the pedal to the metal. You're not putting on the brakes. You're completely going for this passion, and you are hoping with all your heart that it's going to work out for you. Let's see if it wants to tell me anything else about this. You have the Moon. Now, what I'll say about this is that there's something in you that's saying, I don't know what the outcome will be, but I'm pushing forward anyway. There is mystery surrounding this. There's a lot of, I see luck might be a little bit involved here. It's not just how hard am I willing to work. It's what do the cards have in store for me? Not necessarily the tarot cards, but what does the universe have in store? But you feel like you're finally on the right path, and you are just, you know, you're not just twiddling your thumbs and walking down it. You are running down this path towards your future. And it's very much like open arms. Now, June, you have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Usually I would tell you this means that you are close to your finish line. You just got to keep up the pace, keep the stamina. And in reverse, I would say this is going to need a little bit more time to actually come together for you. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Definitely not. It just means there's going to be a lot more practice involved and figuring out, like, you know, normally this would be like, okay, you gotta rally. I know there might be some tough times right now, but you gotta push through. And this is mainly just saying, you know, you're not at your final destination yet. You just have to keep going. You know, you have a 26, you know, the 26-mile marathon, and you're on mile 10, maybe even mile 6, something, you know, you're not at the very beginning, and you're not necessarily in the middle. You're getting there. But the thing about this card is it's telling you that there's something at the end that is so worthwhile and so beneficial for you that you should not give up on whatever this cause may be, because it will be worth it for you. July, we have the Two of Swords. This card means that you're facing some kind of opposition. There are two people or two things that are at odds with each other. There's a line tends to be drawn here of we're clashing and we don't know how to get over it, and you know, someone has to break eventually. And I don't know if that's you and another person. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune has to do with destiny and karma and luck. Here's the thing, like I was talking about, it seems like there's a little bit of luck involved up here. This is kind of saying your luck might be turning a little bit. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. It just means it's not, you know, it's not necessarily great. It's not gonna propel you forward. This is gonna take a lot more effort than maybe you thought it would. And the thing with the Wheel of Fortune is there's a lot of cycles here, and the cycles might be coming together. So if this has to do with work, which is what my impression is, this is something about work. Down here might be about your love life and your work life are coming to a head, and they don't quite know how to correspond and come together equally, more fairly, just cohesively, more so. There's something there. This is you also have the Ten of Wands. This is also in reverse. With this, again, there's some kind of oppression here. There's something, two forces are at odds with each other, and I think because of this, you kind of feel like your energy is like, I don't know where I'm supposed to put my attention. I really am trying to focus all of my efforts onto this side, and now it's kind of like, well, something isn't working out right now, and what am I supposed to do about it? And you're very much questioning, where do I go from here? Because my energy is starting to be depleted, and this is telling you you need to conserve it. Don't just kind of, toss it to the side and try and, it's kind of saying take a break and reevaluate where you are, because it's not necessarily where you want to be, and you feel like you're being forced into a corner is what I'm getting at. That's kind of what I'm sensing. It's not your decision to be at odds. It's not something you're just being stubborn over. I think someone else is at the root of this. You have the Princess of Swords, and the Princess of Swords in reverse tells me that someone is not communicating. There is a lot of lack of communication, and someone is not speaking up about what is bothering them, or, I'm getting the sense that this is a partner, and they're not maybe feeling valued or something like that because they don't have the attention. And that sounds a little like, well, that's kind of needy, but it's not about being needy. It's like, you really just don't have enough attention for me right now, and it's really bothering me, and it almost feels like we're not even together at this point, and there's something like that. You had the Seven of Pentacles. There's definitely a lot of frustration here, but it's because you and this person are not communicating with each other, or this person is not communicating with you. Maybe you are that person and you're the one that's fed up and frustrated with whatever they're not focusing on, and they're putting their attention on other places. Maybe you're the one that's frustrated, but the expectations, whoever this is, that they have, I don't think are necessarily realistic, because there's only so many hours in the day, and you have to put your attention in very specific places in order to, in some ways, make ends meet, and make sure that you're providing it for yourself. And then there's also the side of self-care, and sometimes we just have to step away and take care of ourselves first. And I think that is so important, to always take care of ourselves first and go and try to help and be supportive of other people second, because it's the idea of how, if I can't show that love to myself, how am I supposed to show that love to you? Isn't that just putting on a front? Isn't that being fake? And, I think you're going, I'm not going to be fake. I'm not just going to tell you that all these things that you want to hear because it's just what you want, and I need to figure out what I want. You also have the Devil in reverse. Now, I think this also is someone is overcommitting to work or to a project or some kind of cause that they hold very dear and are passionate about. They're taking it a little bit too far. So this person, I think, is frustrated because they're not getting that time that they want, but they're also not communicating that. So it's just creating an even bigger ripple and conflict within this relationship, and you're at odds with each other. But the expectation is we're together, we're supposed to have this quality time together, and I don't think there's this quality time. And so maybe the devil is trying to tell you, yes, there's only so many hours in the day, but if you want to make this work, you need to make time for that person. Okay, we're going to move on to August. There is the Hanged Man in reverse. This tells me that you have to kind of release the perceptions you have. The outlook you have, there's some kind of attitude that you're clinging on to, that you're feeling very stuck. This, I think there's just not this new perspective that you're bringing into it. You just feel like, I'm just hanging out on this branch and I don't necessarily want to move. And then in reverse, it's like, actually I kind of like it here and I'm protecting myself, and you're being kind of stubborn, and it's not necessarily working out for you because it's all about your attitude. And if you can't change your perspective and your attitude on it, then it's not going to change itself. You also have the 8 of Swords in reverse. This is also the feeling of being trapped, but it's also this idea of, I put myself here. I chose to, if I'm being literal on the card, this butterfly chose to cocoon on this sword. It's not like that just happened, like that they had to pick that place. So I'm assuming what I'm reading from this, and I don't always normally take these so literally, but this is telling me that you feel trapped, but you're the one that put yourself there. So it's almost like you're going to close yourself off so that you don't have to face the repercussions that you did on your own. And that sounds kind of a little like, oh, blamey, and, kind of blaming yourself. And I'm not, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's just, I think the cards are trying to tell me to reciprocate to you is that there's some kind of energy here where you aren't feeling supportive, and because of that, you're choosing to be cold-shouldered. Now, there's also the Mother of Pentacles. This, usually this is a very warm and loving energy, and so what I'm feeling is that your person is actually really trying to get through to you that they care so much about you, and they just want to be with you, and you're the one that's kind of blocking that. You're making it so moving forward isn't really an option. You're like, nah, I'm good. I am just gonna live with whatever decisions I make, and I'm not gonna change them. I'm just gonna live with it. It's like, well, you don't really have to live with it, you know that. Like, you can change that, and this person is saying, I'm here for you, I can help you, don't shut me out. And you're like, no, you're just gonna cocoon yourself away, and that'll be that, and you're not letting them in. And so I think your August is gonna be kind of difficult on the relationship front because it's you. It's not the other person, which, you can't change the other person, but you can change how you react to that person. And if this person is being very loving towards you, doesn't that say that you should be loving towards them? I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at, and it seems like you don't really want to do that. And I don't know why. I mean, let's ask. Have the Empress. Now, the Empress means something new is here. Maybe there's a new path you're taking in this relationship. It's moving forward. This person wants to progress. Maybe you want to move in together, get engaged, get married, go meet their family, take a trip together, anything where you feel like commitment is really involved. And if you're not super committed, then it's kind of like, well, why are we doing that? And I think this new level of commitment that this person is offering you, I think you're rejecting. And you kind of just like want to sit there and just be like, It's almost just like I'm going to cross my arms and I'm just, like, And I mean, are you closed off because you're scared of the commitment? Are you closed off because maybe this just isn't the right person for you? What is it? What's going on here that's making you feel like it's just, you don't even want to try? And here you have the Six of Wands. This is a good card. This means victory. This means that there's success on the horizon. This is sharing that success with others and wanting. And because I'm asking that question of why are you pushing back? And this is the card about wanting something. Maybe you're going, I actually don't want that commitment. Maybe that's what you're saying, or you're telling this person we need to slow down and let's just wait a little bit to actually make that commitment a real thing. I just need more time. Maybe you're just thinking it over so much that you're so stuck in your head that moving forward is almost impossible to you, and you're just digging your heels in and refusing to move. I think that's what it is. September, you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Again, you had the Wheel of Fortune over here in July. I think the universe is nudging you, telling you kind of, here's where you're at. You can either go down this direction or you can go this way. And it's, you can choose to move forward or you can choose to go backwards. And that's up to you. But I think it's telling you there's some kind of choice that's going to be made in this month. You also have the 10 of Wands in reverse. There's some kind of burden here that's really blocking you from moving forward. Something here that it's just like this ultimate tangled mess. And I think this is something that's in your head. It's a perception that you have, is just all over the place, and you don't know how to get out of this. It's almost like you feel like you're caged within yourself, and you don't know how to get out, because otherwise you either need to cut through these branches or someone needs to come help you. And this person is saying that they want to come help you, but and you could definitely get out. This card is telling you 100%. The Six of Wands is telling you that you are capable of getting out of these weeds yourself, and you don't have to look back, and you can just keep moving forward. And this is success right here. Now, you also have this in reverse, so you are being so stubborn. You are refusing to get out yourself, and this person is either going to come in and try and help you get out because you are just not giving in, or quite frankly you're going to get stuck here, and you're still going to be stuck in this hangman position for this month as well. But you don't have to be. That's what this card is maybe at the end of the month you finally realize, okay, let me get out of my head. November, you have the Death card in reverse. My goodness. It's the same message over and over again, like starting new cycles, ending something that isn't good for you, and moving forward. And maybe this is finally the death of those negative perceptions that you have about commitment. Maybe you have feared commitment in the past because someone really hurt you and you didn't want to keep moving forward on that front because it was really scary to have to do it again. Or it's like, oh, I've maybe never experienced this kind of commitment and I don't know what that's going to bring for me. And so maybe you thought up of all these things that could go wrong instead of all the things that could go right. So I think you're thinking in terms of what's going to happen that's going to end this, instead of what's going to bring this better? What's going to make this something that I love and it's going to start me on a new journey? And, you know, you got to release yourself from these kinds of outlooks that you have, that you're giving yourself, and you've told yourself so many times that you're starting to believe them. And, you know, old habits die hard. And if you can't get out of these habits, these ideas of always telling yourself that something's just going to end, it's just going to end, then yeah, it will end. So you have to come up with a new way of looking at the world, and maybe at this relationship that isn't so like doom and gloom, you know, because I don't think it is doomed, because this person loves you so dearly. Like, I can just feel this energy of they love you more than anything else that they've ever loved in their entire lives. Like, they even love you more than they love themselves. And that is saying like crazy levels, right? Because we should always strive to love ourselves first and foremost. But this person is just like, I would literally do anything for you. You are my home, you are my heart, and I will give whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever you want. I am here and I am willing to give it to you. And please don't shut me out. And you're shutting them out. November. Now, see, this is a lovely card, and it's the 9 of Pentacles, and this is telling me that you could have a happy, healthy home, and you're still rejecting it because this is in reverse. You're still having these problems. You can see that there is a wonderful future here, that there are so many great possibilities for this to completely work out in your favor, and yet you're still doubting it. You have this doubt about this relationship and you can't get out of your head. Until finally December, you have a moment of clarity. You have the 8 of Wands, and this is telling me that lightning is about to strike. It's going to light up your world, and you are going to learn some kind of new lesson, or you're going to find some information that changes you profoundly. Something is happening here where there is a lot of change. There's clarity, there's news, there's all these things that are going to make you just, it's going to shock your system. It's just going to absolutely just run you over, and you will have all the clarity that you need to make the best decision for you. Whatever that decision may be, it's a decision you need to make for yourself. And I did not pull an overall energy, so we will, I think I'm going to do 2. I will pull from the astrological deck. You have 5th house is creativity. This is talking about the Empress for you, which you have up here or down here, and I think you have somewhere else, but I don't see it now. Either way, this is saying you have a lot of new beginnings coming. Keep an open mind, an open heart, and then you can completely make it happen for yourself if you just remain open to everything that might be coming your way. I will also pull a Mermaid Oracle card for you for an overall energy that you need to remember for this upcoming year. You have Homeland. This says arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, settled. This is a commitment. This is you wanting to know if you should commit or not. And this is telling you to commit. Get out of your head. You can settle down. You can trust that this was meant for you. That you have a home here, and a good home, if you want it. Now that's up to you, because your free will can decide that, you know what, maybe I don't want this path even though it was chosen or picked for me. You can decide to go another route, and that's okay too. It's up to you. All right, I am going to get some of these cards out of the way so that we can do your love reading. All right, just keep in mind, love does not always have to do with romantic ties or relationships. It can deal with family or friends or self-love, very much so is what I have found through a lot of other signs that I've done for this year. Self-love is a very important topic to remember. I want all of those. Oh, all right. You have appreciate this moment. Every situation is an opportunity to grow and find love. Maybe that's something that you need to really reflect on, is appreciation and gratitude for what you've been given so far, because it seems like this partner that you have, male, female, doesn't matter. This isn't gender specific. Whoever this person is to you is a very profound, deep love, and they are trying to give you their love completely. And appreciating that, acknowledging that is a very difficult thing to do for anyone, to just completely trust and open up to you. This person is telling you that they are all in, and if you could appreciate that love that they're willing to give you, perhaps you can change a little bit and give them a lot of the love that you have to offer back. You also have treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. This is again the same message. Perhaps you're just, you're not seeing this love for what it truly is, and you're not appreciating it as it is coming forward to you. Now, I also want to say that this is 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 is the Lover's card. This is definitely a very true love, soulmate relationship that I'm seeing. It might not even be soulmates. This could even go further into twin flames, and the rate that this person is trying to give themselves to you, it could very well be a twin flame. You also have relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. Same thing again. There is something blocking you from wanting to commit further, and it's something that's in your head. It's not something that's this real thing. It's not actually, it seems like it's a problem that you've kind of made up, and you can't get out of your head because of it. And it's not something that's actually real, and for some reason, you're kind of like, well, I don't want that change, and perhaps this partnership, this relationship isn't exactly what I want, and yet you've been in it for so long. I feel like this is a long time coming of these same patterns of you telling yourself over and over again, maybe this just isn't right for me. Is that a healthy pattern? Is it actually something that you're believing, or is it something you're telling yourself? And lastly, you have be authentic, be real and true to who you are and how you feel. This is the thing. I mean, this is the genuine heart of the matter of getting down to what is there's obviously sincerity and there's generosity in this relationship. There's, fields and mountains and valleys and forests of love here to give to you. And yet, are you pushing it away because you truly don't want it and you don't feel that love for them in return? Or is that your authentic self, that this isn't the right relationship for you? And if that's what you choose, that's okay. But if this isn't, and it's something that's just in your head, you really need to reevaluate and go back and figure out, question, why did we fall in love in the first place? If you can figure that out, then won't that tell you why you're still with this person now? All right, lastly, we are going to do a soul journey path reading. This only has to do with you. This is only something that you need to hear, that the universe wants you to very much listen to. This is something that you need to focus on for yourself for this year. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Crazy energy there. We have water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Perhaps you're just not taking care of yourself the way that you should be, and these feelings are developing over lack of self-care. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're not eating the right things, or you're putting your body through something where you're mentally exhausted or you're physically exhausted or something like that, and you really need to rest and take, count all the blessings that you have and nourish all the seeds that are within you, that you know that you can develop and grow into wonderful, beautiful things for your future. I will read from the book for you. I would hate to tell you something wrong. This card says, Earth is a seasonal planet, and as such, you're a seasonal being, cyclic. You can't be on and in full bloom month after month, day after day after day. You're strongly being called to put on the brakes, rest, and refuel, to take a moment to restock and replenish and slow right on down. Your body is the only body you're given, and it needs to be respected as such. You're being called to take responsibility for your well-being, to put your health and body first. I know it can feel like time is running out and as if there are urgent things that simply can't wait. However, if you keep pushing on, soon fatigue will set in. This way of living isn't sustainable. If anyone continues to race through life, eventually they will reach exhaustion, and it will take longer to recover than it would have done to rest. Immune system disorders and mystery illnesses are becoming more common because we're putting too much pressure on our bodies to keep up with the instantaneous pace of modern life. There is enough time. Life will bend toward you when you do. It's time to recuperate, to really figure out what's going on with you so that you can make the best, brightest future possible for yourself. Okay, I am going to leave it there. I wish you all the best of luck in the upcoming year. Always be kind. Bye.